All right, hello everyone, and this is something I've been meaning to do for a little while. It's an ASX, I guess it'd be more of a investment video, just on positions that I'm looking to, not necessarily hold forever, but it would be longer than a day trade. So you could call them swing trades or maybe a little bit longer than a few months as well. So what I've got here, and it's a little bit jumbled up. Let's go. All right. So I've got FMG to start with. So I do actively day trade FMG. My next video that I'll be uploading will talk about how that's been going as well. Up, down, up, and then yesterday was a bit of a down day, a bit of a red day, unfortunately, but that's how things go sometimes. Now, all right, so with FMG, we have seen it. If you have a look at the daily chart here, we've seen it go through some cycles, and we've seen, now I will mention I did get out of FMG longer term. Gosh, it would have been before the ex-dividend, after the ex-dividend, sorry. So it was about 2039. It's around here. And as you can see, it has moved a lot higher. We've had the price of iron ore still really hold pretty firm. I mean, it has pulled back a little bit to 185 or so, but we're seeing steel production out of China really strong still. And, as a potential entry, just having a look here now. I mean, more of a discount is better, but this stock is very attractive. Obviously, an individual seeking that dividend yield, which is likely going to be, probably surpassing where it was at previously as well, $1.47 net. So it's definitely a stock that I'm looking at getting back into with, potentially around 2,000 shares or so. And now, obviously, when the dividend's announced, there is a little bit of a sell-off. As you can see, it was, that day, I mean, it sold off pretty heavily. And the plan would be just to use my CFD account to short it there and to hold once it comes back a little bit, which typically it does for the longer term holders that are accumulating with pullbacks. So, those are my thoughts. It did get to pretty much 24 as the recent high. So we've seen a little bit of consolidation around here. It has closed that gap as well. That's formed. So it's gapped down, it's gapped up, gapped down again. And I mean, really, I'd love to see it go back down to the low 21s. But there's a few factors that are really driving prices. And, China still seems to be, it's a strained relationship, but it's definitely, I guess their alternatives are very much not quite ready yet for iron ore sources. So we're still there and in the picture for, I'd say, at least a few years to come. So that's not a huge concern to me. Brazil obviously reopening. We'll have to wait and see with that, but it still seems like it's a ways away for Vale to, get to the point where they're fully operational again, with the situation in Brazil still very poor with COVID. So those are my thoughts with FMG. Again, I'm realistic about the discount that's an offering. Lower 22s would be great for an entry. And we've still got a little bit of time because we've got June, we've got whole of July, and then I'll have to really confirm this. I think it's around the 30th will be, or the 31st is ex-dividend. So the 30th is probably the latest you can get into it. So what would be great is that it comes back up again and really starts turning over in July, and then start of August, it's still sort of meandering down, and then we start seeing more of a bottoming out back down to 21 low level would be great. Although we'll see, this thing could just bounce and keep going. So the price action's really driving my thought process on an entry, but I just wanted to talk about FMG. I also want to talk about PRL too, which is a hydrogen play here. Sip my coffee here, guys. I'm sorry about that. So I have a tendency to just want to check the earnings. This is, a very speculative play, obviously at 15.5 cents, but we've seen it really come down quite a lot as well. And I talked about this back down here when it bounced off, I think 11. I talked about it, and it's still, a decent uptrend, but we've seen it, get a little bit ridiculous when it got to, 25. We've seen it pull back, and we've seen a bit of an ecosystem where the micro cap miners have definitely been not in favor, just with the risk off sentiment that's been in play. But it sort of looks like if we get down to 14.5 again, 14.5 PRL would be something I'd be looking to get into on that one. Now, also bet. So I've made a few videos about bet, but I've never actually said that I've entered. So I need that to be abundantly clear. If you don't watch the videos and you just see I've mentioned bet, that's unfortunately, you've got to watch the videos. So with bet, it's been running pretty nicely. Got a couple of friends that got into this at really good prices as well. I left it here, and what I'd really like to see is, the 104 level has been tested. We got as low as 102, I think was the low of that candle on the 1st of June. Yeah, 102. So, to me, really, we've seen an attempted bounce. On that bounce there, we got to 120.5. Look, just looking at this chart and trying to detach myself, because obviously I do like this company, but looking like there might be some more downside here. And I want to see break it through $1 and see what the market wants to do with this. So the news that they obviously made a bid for Tabcorp was viewed, I guess, by investors as, to me, it's not been parabolic though, this thing. So we've had a bit of an overreaction is what it looks like, but you've just got to wait till the market resumes to be rational again, because right now it does look like it wants to break through, that 104. So I'm just going to leave it be for now, but that's definitely something I'm watching, and that's really it. I mean, there is 5GG, Pentanet, that I've talked about before. Back down 83, we saw it really start ramping up to 114. So I am a customer of Pentanet as well, and I missed the allocation. They were giving it was $2,000 worth at 25 cents. So there's not a lot of news out on this thing either. I mean, they provide a really good quality product, excellent customer service. ABB comes to mind as well. I got in ABB at 210 out at like 207. Wrong AB, that's not the right one. There it is, Aussie Broadband. So that's back on after a bit of a sell-off as well. Got to 330 or so. So that one remains on my watch list. Not as much though, honestly. I prefer 5G. I mean, Aussie Broadband does have, they've got a little bit more going on than Pentanet does with their ability to provide and sell their infrastructure, and that's what they are offering. So it's an interesting proposition. Again, very good customer service and ratings from customers on their service, and it's bounced. That was probably a nice pullback entry there, but I've got my capital tied up. I'm still in Bendigo and I'm still in RAC as well. So it was actually a green week finally, which has been nice, especially Bendigo yesterday with financials on a bit of a tear. But that's the video, guys. So thanks for watching and bye for now.